mom. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Not cold, cool.
Just comfortable.
Right, exactly. We like it. Keep mom comfortable. All right, even as the conversation continues around reforming the criminal justice system in our nation, funding for a lot of programs that aim to reduce the number of repeat offenders has been cut. That's not to say there aren't a lot of folks out there on the front lines doing amazing, important, and tough work. Bob DeCastro is shining a light on one of those programs for us this morning.
Art can be an expression of an individual's freedom, and no one knows that more than Southern California painter Mutts Vo. The 40-year-old was just released from state prison 10 months ago after serving 20 years.
For me, I feel more entrenched in the society that I live in now. I feel like I'm more part of American than ever before.
The layers of paint on his canvases as deep as his complicated and often conflicted past. Vo came to the United States from Vietnam when he was just 9 years old. A timid kid with low self-esteem, he was unable to speak English. He struggled in school and followed his older peers into a life of gangs. When he was 16 years old, Vo was involved in a violent crime and sentenced to prison.
You know, I started my journey in prison, just didn't really care much, because with that sentence, I felt like there was no future for me. So I kind of lived my life wastefully for the first 10 years of my term.
Vo says that all changed when the Supreme Court ruled that it is cruel and unusual punishment to sentence a child to life without parole. His sentence was reduced. Not only was he able to participate in painting classes, he also took part in the Pawsitive Change program, where hardened inmates are paired with at-risk shelter dogs.
Good job, buddy. Smile for the camera.
It helped us learn to be empathetic. I mean, with the dog, you have dog coming in there that just have been abused, like really abused, and they are so afraid that you can't even touch them.
Pawsitive Change was created 6 years ago by Kern County nonprofit MarleysMutts. It's an intensive 14-week-long prisoner rehabilitation program that challenges student inmates to better the dogs and themselves. Founder Zach Scow.
The life of an incarcerated pet and the life of an incarcerated person intertwine very naturally. You know, there is an immediate relatability, first of all. You know, these guys and gals very much feel like throwaway people. Many times they feel cast aside, disenfranchised, separated from their family and friends, forgotten by their family and friends.
The course is now taught in 6 prisons across the state, including juvenile facilities. It focuses on building self-esteem, self-confidence, and a sense of purpose.
You know, a dog might be so scared of his own shadow when he first goes in there, and one of the student inmates he might be working with similarly is completely inside of himself, scared, nervous, withdrawn, anxious, not talkative, you know, completely withdrawn, feral almost, like a dog. To watch them aid one another in finding themselves is very special. And a lot of it has to do with confidence. A lot of it has to do with self-confidence. They help give one another self-confidence.
Upon completion, the dogs become certified therapy dogs. The human graduates learn coping skills and develop a business plan to have ready should they be granted parole. So far, none of the program's graduates who have been released have returned to prison. A 100% success rate, which includes Vo. He seeks to inspire and change lives not just as a painter. He's using his new skills and connections in the pet industry and found a job as a dog trainer.
My goal is really to open door for other prisoners like myself coming out, because I know not everyone have the opportunity I had.
He is an incredible person, and he's one of the reasons why I am so committed to this program and to believing in formerly incarcerated individuals, because you know, there's a principle in rescue that every life matters, that every life has this intrinsic value, and we are missing that.
A story about second chances. Vo's family adopted his 4-legged friend who took the same steps alongside him in the program. They were reunited when Vo was released.
Oh, wow. He's free.
Yeah, so he paroled.
Bob DeCastro, you have done some terrific work in your career, but I want to say there has not been a person in this studio, and I even bet at home, that wasn't touched by that piece that you brought to us. It is such an important thing to remember that these are people who deserve a chance at redemption. They paid their debts to society. We can't forget them.
Yeah.
When Marley's Mutts introduced me to Nyut Vo, I started talking to him. I didn't even realize that he had just gotten out of prison. I was shocked. I said, "You just got out."
Yeah.
I found him to be just an authentic person, and he really, really wants to help other prisoners who are released, who he wants to become a dog trainer, open up his own dog company, a dog training company, and hire some of these inmates who are released, these parolees, and also go back into the prisons again and continue the Positive Change program and be part of that program.
Because it's so hard for them to get work when they get out, right? They're stigmatized and they have that record hanging over their head. A lot of people aren't willing to give them a chance. You know what I think is also important too, and kudos to Marley's Mutts and Positive Change. There are a lot of groups that are doing work to intervene and divert kids from getting to prison in the first place, and there's so much work in that space going on, and we salute those people too.
Yep. Yep, and Marley's Mutts and the Positive Change program is one of the few programs, if the only one, in the state that actually goes into the prison yards and inside and works with them. I was surprised to find out that the recidivism rate in California is still pretty high. It's still over 50%, and so people go back into the prisons. We're spending $85,000 a year per prisoner just to keep them within the prison system. So Marley's Mutts is completely self-funded. It's about $15,000 to get 30 inmates to the program. And as we said, a 100% success rate. 50 parolees who have left prison have not gone back into prison. They've become success stories.
That's what you want. You want them to go on. And I mean, he's like, nobody could believe he is as young as he is and has already done 20 years behind bars. He's got his whole life ahead of him still. We wish Nyut good. We wish him well. We hope he continues to thrive. Bobby, thank you for this story. It's been remarkable. It really has. All right, we're going to have a conversation in our next block about skin cancer. We're heading into summer. And this is a real thing that we need to be worried about every hour of every day. An American